is already built to, excuse me. So if I come here now, let me say this is like income, then I'll put this under other income or something. Then this one to income. So I'll just type in other income. Then this one to income. So it's not as if I'm just this narration here, this narration here will really help. That's why I'm always big on narration. Like, let us know what is for. Like this one now, there's the licensing and retainer fee, there's inventory purchase here. So it will help you to, what's the word now? It will help you to categorize and analyze your bank statement very well. Like now you're seeing this transfer, there is a withdrawal. They just put transfer there. That means they didn't put narration. So how will I know what's going on there? So let me just quickly do this for the rest because there's no time. What we can do is we can just go back and spool this up. Like, so we'll touch every aspect. So we'll touch aspect of income statement, cash flow, how everything will affect one another. So if I come here, this one is like bank charges, so it's an expense. So it's supposed to, so this will, let me say it's an income, but it's like a reversal. And I'll come here, other income, because it left and it came into our account. Then other income. So it depends on each business. What's it called? Let me just grab this. Each business have different peculiarities. So what can be like a gift to me, maybe an expense to another company. What can be entertainment? Like this DSTV I use as entertainment here. Another company might tag it as subscription. So it just depends on your expense head, like your expense category in your company. Then I'll come here. This is an expense. Then entertainment. So I can put it under administrative expense or yeah. Then this one to expense. No. Expense. So I'll just type admin expense here to just come. Then gift and donation to is an expense. Then I'll come here. Let me put it under, since we are giving, if it's to a staff, you can just put it under, then put it under salaries and wages. If it's for a staff, then this transfer to Mr. Popola is office expense assets. Then let me see if I have office. Okay, no here. So I'll just type in, sorry, office expense. So that's non-current assets. Yeah. Then telephone, so this one is expense, admin expense. It depends. You can put it under operating. So what did they use the call card for? Did they use it to call customer? So if they use it to call customers, we can put it under operating expense. But if it's used for day-to-day running of the business, we can put it under administrative expense. Then we have diesel too. Diesel is fueling. So we'll come here, then we'll put it under operating expense because we use diesel to operate. Then this one, to put it under income. So if you see so far, all the things I've been picking here, they are income, expense, and assets. So I've not really touched on anything relating to liability. I've not really touched on anything relating to liability, right? So if I now come and refresh my income statement, you'll see that where's my refresh all. So you see that now say I have other income. So the more you put this in based on what you have, it will go here automatically. Like it will just come here automatically, then you fill it in based on what you have. So what I'm saying now is that your income statement, like let's say we had like if we fill this in with rent, utilities and everything, all of them will be here. So one thing is that the financial position will not balance because you are using bank statement for a month and you've not started from the beginning of the business inception. So you know your balance sheet flows from inception till where you are. So balance sheet is as that where we are, but your income statement is month on month. So you may not even prepare income statement for, we are using October, right? You may not prepare income statement for September, but you can prepare income statement from October when you have all the necessary things you need. But because financial statement is pulling data from the inception, so all the furniture, the assets we've bought over time, all the liabilities we've owed over time. So you know your your assets is equals to your capital plus, I hope I'm saying the right thing. So your total assets is equals to your capital plus liability. So all the things you use your capital to buy your assets, Then you also incur some liabilities that you used to buy your assets, right? So you just ensure that this your, let's say we had like bank statement of since inception of this business. You can just, and you've been preparing your books over time, your balance sheet will balance, definitely your financial position will balance. So just leave this ref, the what's it called, this this model is built in such a way that it is what you feel in here that you get in these three places. And as you can always check, like if we still go down, because you see, like I said, the transactions are up to 300. I just had to cut it short to like 197, and because of time, something we can also go and build on our own, is just to like put you through. So now for the next one, I want to do the liability side so that we can see what it looks like. So let me use this one now. Let's say somebody paid for let me use liability. Then let me say I added, excuse me, let me use current liabilities. Then what can I put here? Let's say my sister borrowed me money to let me say what can I use now? Okay, let me say I borrowed the company business money now, so I can just put, it's a deposit. So as at this time we were short on money, we needed 39,000, so that's why you need to separate your business from your person. The fact that you are the owner of the business or your boss is the owner of the business, you cannot just take money out, and once he borrows the company money, he should be able to get his money out. So it's your narration on this place, right, that will tell you, okay, like now if you see we have something like VAT payable, inventory. So for this inventory now, I'll come here. Where's my inventory? Here. So inventory, I'll come here. So inventory is an asset. Then category for inventory is a current asset. Then I'll come here. So that's inventory. So if I go to my financial position now and refresh again, so if you see my inventory now is now 150,054. I hope you understand. So I think I'll stop here to take questions. Like, is this thing that will help you feed in? Like, that's why I'm always saying that your narration should be top notch. So is this thing that will feed it in? So if I want us to is all this your narrations here on your description, you always ensure that, like now see we have clippers, we have inventory purchase. This one already helped us to do our inventory. Then all these things, like you see airtime now, I easily put it on the telephone expense here. We already did that. So now all these things will help you to what's the word? To analyze your bank statement properly based on data you have here. Because cannot just be posting the wrong thing to the wrong place. So I don't know if we have any question before we continue, but at this point I would like to take questions. Anybody with any question? Or do we understand it so far?
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
I typed the question, but I think you didn't see it, so I'm going to ask you. Yes, regarding the bank statement, there are times where there could be unidentified deposits that may be reconciled. You have look, you have not seen, and the thing will just be in your suspend ledger for months. At the close of the year, how are you to recognize that income?
Please, can you come again?
That bank statement now, unidentified deposit, maybe the narration is not clear. You have not, you don't even know it. You get. I have been to reconcile. I've been trying to find out who owns this money. No one has answered you, and the thing is just hanging in your suspense ledger. How are you going to deal with at the end?
So that's why we always say that since you are the in-house accountant, right? Ask, like, as the things are happening. So don't wait till one time to do your bank reconciliation, because if you do daily bank reconciliation, you'd have captured all these things. Don't wait till one time before you do your bank reconciliation. Don't, because you too as the accountant, you have access to the financial statement, so you're seeing everything that is happening in the bank. Ask your boss, this money enter, what was it? Like I had this issue too when I was starting out. Like you just be seeing some dollar charges into the account. And me, I would have prepared my account based on the assumption that maybe it's one Google ads or one Instagram ads. Then later, when I finish preparing my financial statement that I sent to the CFO, she'll now be telling me that the MD said is maybe one subscription that he did for his personal self. So I'll now have to go and redo it. So the best thing is for you to real time ask questions. Even yourself, when you use your bank app to make payment and you don't put narration there, I paid for this thing today or next week, you're asking me, I may be like, I can't remember. Well, I don't know what I bought it for. So it's about that real time. Maybe at the end of every day, at the end of every week, you're sitting with your boss. Okay, this unidentified deposit, is it that maybe it's even his family member that borrowed him the money? So is it a loan? It can be a loan from his family member. Is it a loan from himself? Did we do one business that you guys did not tell us about? Is it other income that is not relating to our business? So like businesses have different arms. Maybe the arm that you are into the trading arm. Then your guy went to do one FX trade like that. Maybe you went to sell dollar, buy dollar, then you got the money into business account, and that's like unidentified deposits. So all those questions you need to ask, because you just be doing double work. When you now put it in suspense, your boss now say, yes, he remembered, or like he said he remembered, then you now have to go and review the financial statement from scratch. Do you get? So
Yeah. Thank you.
I don't know if you have any more questions, because me going back to the Excel file will just it's just pulling in from this. Let me just quickly refresh. It's just pulling out from this place. Yeah. So it's just working on this like it's whatever they this fit into these things. So it's because I've not done anything relating to utilities. I've not done anything relating to. Okay, so if I come here now, this PP schedule, I think that's the last thing I'll explain here, but let me still take questions. The reason why this thing is showing this depreciation here is showing ref is because I didn't touch on. So if you can see, I have furnitures and fittings here. I have office equipment. Let me pick transaction that relates to plant and machinery so that we can have a depreciation figure. So let's say, for instance, now this one, okay, this one is for electricity. Let me put utilities here. I'm coming, I'll answer the questions. This is expense category. Let me say operating expense. Let me see utilities. Then I come here. Then this one subcategory. Subcategories. Okay, electricity, yeah. So let's say this one now. Let me look for. So I don't have plant and machinery and I don't have motor vehicles. So let's say this one now. I use this to buy motor vehicle as assets. Then I come here. Motor vehicle, non-current assets. Then I come here, motor vehicle. Motor vehicle, yeah. Then it remains one. Which one again? Plant and machinery. So let's say I bought plant and machinery with, I need a very good figure. I can use for plant machinery. Okay, let's say, okay, yes, plant. This is, I can use this as a plant. So assets, I come here, plant and machinery, not current asset. Then I have plant and machineries. Hope I've not passed this. Okay. No, plants and machineries. So property, plant and equipment, plant and machineries. So if I come here to my financial position, no, my PPA, so I'll have to refresh. Oh, motor vehicle. Sorry. So I want to make this like, have I chosen for motor vehicle? Yes, I have. So why is it not? So let me refresh. Yes, fine. So always refresh. Then if you see now, this has pulled in a depreciation figure from automatic. See, everything is automated. I come here, then if I check my depreciation, you can see now I have a depreciation figure of 233.5. Do you understand? So I can take my questions now. Let me see. Some people are raising up their hands. I can't find people in the queue. Some people are raising up their hands. I can't. Oh, let me see. Somebody was raising. Okay. In a situation whereby you are operating multiple bank accounts, how do you analyze it? So this thing, let me share my screen. I'm coming. Let me answer this question. in a situation whereby you are operating multiple. So you can just, where is my tab? On entire screen. So when you are using multiple bank accounts, this thing is to, where's the model? So this model is to like this model is to 1,000. So I was asking our consultants if I could. So you just have to keep filling it here. So then also you notice that this drop down menu, so you fill all your bank statements here. So that means bank one, let's say this is where my bank one stopped. My bank one stopped in number 200 and something. So I can just put bank two down here for a month, bank three down here. But you know that is a lot of work. So when that one, they will later need to resort to using software. So you can just put in all your banks in this area, like down here, then you now start analyzing and everything. Or you can get an intern to help you with it if you'll be busy with other things. Also, you notice that when I get here, like this my drop down menu, I think there's somewhere that it's stopped. So if I come here, you see that there's no more drop down menu. So let me see, my drop down menu is not here again. It's not here. See, so what you can do is where the drop down menu stopped, you can just drag this down. So if I come here now, you see that the drop down menu is already showing. So you can just still drag it down to the end. So the more things you need, the more you can drag down your drop down menu. But one thing I'm not sure of is if I'm sure it will. Let me try one transaction and put it in this last place and see if it will show. So ensure that. So let me copy one transaction from here. Okay, let's say I need something yes, let me use this 150,000. Control C. No, this ginger thing. Let me use something else. Let me see. I can just change the narration. So I'll just come to my bank analyzer. You know, earlier I stopped at 100, so I can just do paste 1, 2, 3. So now, then I'll just come here to my statement. So I want to see if this will. Hey, something has happened though. My drop down menu did not get there. So now I can just drag my drop down menu down to where I want it. Then I'm sure we'll also have the same issues with category. Yeah. So I can drag it down to. Let me see where my drop down menu stopped. Okay, let's say this one to the drop down menu. Okay, so this one to has drop down menu. So what I can just do is drag both down to where that thing stopped. So you just have to keep feeding in. So I want to see if this 150K would show. Hopefully, I hope it will. So I'm assuming that I've already filled up these places of the statement. Let me use something. Let me change this to like machinery and see if it will affect my financial position. So now if you see what we have in our PP schedule for the year is 2.1 million. So I want to see if this 150K will affect it. So I bought machinery, assets, then I come here, non-current assets, then I come here. Let me put it under machinery. Okay, property, plant and equipment. Okay, so if I come here, let me refresh. I hope it works because I think it stopped at 1,000. Okay, it's worked. So it's worked, yeah. So you can just increase it, drag down to ensure that these drop down menus are there. So the more bank statements you need, so you just drag it down. And you know Excel can crash. So you know some bank statement can have over like see this my bank statement now, it had over 313 transactions. So imagine me now spooling in different banks. Let's say they now have 5 banks. So 5 times 300 transactions. That means I'm dealing with 1,500 lines. So that means I have to drag this thing down to 1.5. So you see that is a bit strenuous, but it is what it is. So I'm taking questions. Okay. Can somebody okay. In situation, I've answered that question. How do you deal with unidentified? I've answered that one. Can this method be used to prepare a trial balance? Yes, it can. But you know one thing with this method of using bank statements with Excel is that you won't follow the normal process. So we know that the normal accounting process goes from the normal accounting process goes from source documents to journal, from journal to general ledger, from general ledger to trial balance, right? So using these bank statements to Excel, you won't be following that method. Though there's a trial balance too on this place, but it was hidden so that we'll not tamper with it, because once you tamper with that trial balance, all these things we have issues. All these income statements we have issues because we were anticipating the question. So like if you see there's the trial balance from where it's pulling out from. So if you can see there's trial balance, we have non-current assets. So there's a trial balance on this. It's just to prevent people from tampering with it. So that's why I did it back. So you can see balance from here. Oh, sorry, I wasn't sharing my screen. Let me redo it. Sorry, I thought I was sharing my screen. So for the trial balance, right? So sorry. Okay. So we hid the trial balance because we don't want people to tamper with it. So this is where all the things are flowing into. So if you notice now, if you come to this financial position, it's coming from this model trial balance. So this is the source. So everything from they are entering through this place. So if you see, the things are already formulated. I don't know how to put it. Like the Excel files are these things. Once see shape formula from like they are formularized, you can't tamper with it. If you see, there are a lot of things here, so you can't tamper with it. That's any little thing you do here to affect everything. So it will just make your work fruitless. So that's why it's usually hid, so that nobody can tamper with it. I hope you understand. You can definitely pull out your trial balance from this, definitely. So let me see. So Mr. Abubakar, please ask your question. Adida, kindly mute yourself. Mr. I'm using the queue. Mr. Abubakar, please ask your question. Mr. Abubakar Isa Jibril, please ask your question. Is it still on the call? Before I move on to the next person, please. Okay, Dio, please ask your question. I don't think he's ready. Oh, don't worry. You've asked a question earlier. I'll give room to Mr. Dedeji to answer. Mr. Dedeji, please ask your question.
I'm sorry, I'm not having any question.
Oh, okay. Hakim, kindly ask your question. Ask your question. Sorry.
Okay, good evening. Good evening. Somebody has a question the other time. What about? I pray that we all accountants, God should give us a good job and a better offer. What about if our CEO, they are not ready to answer us? Because whenever we are trying to ask them questions,
yes,
they don't answer. How they spend the money from the company's accounts. So I don't know, what can we do in this scenario?
You can't do more than what. So you should, like what you said, the prayer you made is very important. That we should be in a place where it can be easy for us. Like as accountants, you must have the partnership of your boss. Like if you're working for a one-man business. So for me, the man was big on, even when we were still small, we just had one store before we grew into like over 6 stores. The man was big on accountability, and it's those our financial records we were using to prepare, to sort for loans, to meet investors and all. So if you have a boss that or a organ that does not value financial record, you just have to tell him that you just have to tell him the importance. You can do like a draft and tell him the importance that we can have access to loan. You know all this business, they like loan. So if we don't do our books very well, when tax people come, we have issues. You can even scare them, not really scare, but tell them that there are penalties for this thing. So if you are not keeping proper books of record, tax can just come and see all the influence to your account and assume it's income. Like what Adedayo said earlier. Imagine all these unidentified deposits. Then me, as an accountant, I'm tagging it as income. If the tax guys come, it won't be funny because will charge us tax on the income, basically. And once they see any inflow into your account, the tax guys assume that is inflow. Do you get? So just pray that where you are is a place where the person is big, because they employed you there for a reason. That's what I keep saying. Before you saw the vacancy, they needed you. So if they know that they didn't want you to probe into their accounts, they shouldn't have hired you. And once they are doing it, you also use wisdom to do it. That, sir, the importance of this is that we need to keep our books tidy. We need to do this. We need to do that. Like, you are big on just telling the penalty. Most people, if you tell them the benefits, they may not still see it. So it's better for you to just use penalty. Nigerians like to be penalized. Ogami, tabashe, like, on my rage shop, where like we pay tax of like 1 billion. Like, once you just came that you pay 30% of all the income that is not explaining to you. All the best for him. And if he's not explaining his expenses very well, and you know tax, they don't like saying something like miscellaneous, suspense. Well, they don't like tell us, is so that they can know if this expense is wholly reasonable, exclusive, and necessary for the business. So now, let's say I saw one expense, he spent money, that man has spent money inside the bank account. He now puts miscellaneous, or he just put business something, entertainment or something. If the tax guys come, you can't use that expenses to reduce your taxable income. They will add it back. You get? So maybe you've deducted it as miscellaneous. When tax guys come, they will add it back. So that they should attach supporting document that, okay, we went to use the money to pay rent. Okay, where's the receipt? We went to use the money to buy electricity. Where is the receipt? We went to use the money, even if it's for your customers that you did business entertainment for them. Where is the receipt? And you should also tag it in his narration. Always encourage them to put the narration. Like, I'm always big on that narration. Like, let them put their narration there. Then if it's for you to create a WhatsApp group with the man, create a WhatsApp group that's spending the money. Oh, guy, I just saw 120K that left to the account. I saw the notification. What is the money used for? I saw 150K that left the account today. What is the money? So you too is helping your own accountant, so that at the end of the month, because some boss will tell you that latest 5th, they want their financial reports out. You should send it to the CFO or send it to the MD or something, that they need it out by 5th. Unless you be penalized as an accountant. I hope I did justice to that question. So
yes, you did. Yes, you did. But I just want to add there that it's not all we accountants that have access to notifications. But what we used to work on is we work on the bank statements to prepare our financial statements.
Yeah.
Because I've experienced such things. I reach out to the owner of the company. There are two of them. They withdraw money from the company's account. And I'm asking them, what do you use this money to do? What's this money for, and all of that. The response I got from them was so bad. They don't even bother to tell me, but I just have to use my initiative and move on. So, all right, thank you.
You're welcome. So, Mr. Adedeji, your question. Mr. Adedeji, yeah.
I'm sorry. Thank you. Oh, my own question is that, according to what you told us, that if we don't have the information, the correct information, from when the company starts, we cannot prepare our financial information. Is that not?
Yes. It's not that you cannot prepare. You prepare it, but it's not balanced.
Okay. Comparing to my own scenario now, I think the company have been preparing their financial book. Let me say their record, starting from when I get there. But me, I want to start preparing my own financial position, and then discover that the financial position was unable to balance. I have to reach out to those auditors that were helping them in preparing their statement, and they sent me those documents, their past records. Can I move forward from those information in preparing my own financial statement?
Can you use it to prepare your
their own past record.
Okay.
It was some auditor that came to the company to audit their account. So at the cost of auditing their account, definitely they will prepare all necessary record for them. So now, me preparing my own financial position, I discovered that the financial position was unable to balance. So I have to reach out to those auditors and then explain to them that, okay, this my financial position was unable to balance. So they sent me their past record, all those financial statements, comprehensive income and all of that stuff. My own question now is that, can I start from those past records in preparing my own financial position?
Sure, you can. So it's just that you make adjustments. You can, because thank God it's very. So you can just work with what they have, then continue, do some adjustments, create suspense account and some other things. So where it goes balancing, you can just keep it in suspense to find out what's causing the discrepancy.
Okay, another question I will still like to ask, because this the Excel file that you make use of, please, I don't know how we can get that, although you've already stated that you pay for it.
Yeah, you have to pay for the file, like the model that to communicate code and everything after the session. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, do we have anyone please paid for this session? Please ask your question. I have code though, that's why my voice is shaking. I have code, so sorry about that. Please, who else has a question? Please, we should. I'm encouraging everybody to ask their question. You paid for this session, get value for your money. It's not after the class that you people will not be entering my DM. I'm not answering anybody in the DM. Nobody should enter my DM. Please ask your question on the call. That's why you paid. This is what you paid for. Okay, I'm seeing a new person. Mr. Sunday, Adedayo, you ask your question later. Give other people the opportunity to ask questions. So, Mr. Sunday, you can take the floor. Mr. Sunday, you can.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, sir.
Okay, I want to ask a question. I just got a job in a new place, so I requested for the previous year's financial statement, and then the director of finance sent it to me. So while I was going through the, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So while I was going through the financial statement, I discovered that the closing balance, the cash closing balance in the statement of financial position is different from the closing balance in the statement of cash flow. So I was able to, take out the differences, and I noticed that there are some discrepancies. Although I'm yet to discuss it with the director of finance. So what is your advice? Because they are yet to prepare the last year financial statement, and I'm also yet to reach out to the auditors. What is your advice, and how do I go about it?
Okay, sir, if I got you well, you said what are the two financial statements that are having discrepancies?
The closing balance in the statement of financial position, that's the cash and bank balance.
Bank balance. Oh, okay.
Yes,
cash and bank
it's supposed to correlate with the closing balance in the statement of cash flow. But I noticed that there are some differences.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so theoretically it should, even in practice it should. So, and that's one of the reasons why we are doing bank reconciliation, is to ensure that our cash and bank balances tally with what is in our general ledger for bank before it gets to trial balance. So that means you have to go to the GL for cash and bank and see what happened. Okay, like if you have like 5 bank statements, let's say as at 31st of October now we have 3 or 5 bank statements. For, let's say we have Access Bank, does the closing balance for Access Bank, does it tally with what is in Access Bank GL? Does the closing balance for GT Bank, does it tally with what we have in GT Bank GL? The bank GL for GT Bank. So these are all the things. So you need to go back to and check the last bank reconciliation they made or they did, or what the last bank, did they do bank reconciliation before even they prepared the account? Because for me, it just shows that there was no bank reconciliation done for this thing before they started preparing their financial statement, basically. So you need to go and do bank reconciliation for the period in question and see what is not making it to jive. It may be bank charges, maybe some transactions were not captured, or some things were overlooked, or maybe they even posted twice in the general ledger. So you have to go back to the general ledger for those bank and cash, then do bank reconciliation for them, basically to spot out the difference. I hope that answered the question.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome, sir. So please, guys, ask your question. This call will be ending soon, and I'm still pleading that nobody should. I'm already seeing questions in my DM. Please ask question on the call, because this will also help when people ask questions here, right? It will also help. You mute yourself. It will also help people that. Yes, I'm seeing you. I'll answer. I'm just trying to put a comment out. So let's ask questions. You paid for it, get value for your money, and other people can also learn. You too can learn from people's question. So Mrs. Ifiok Obang, you can take the floor.
Okay. I don't know. I just need advice and guidance from you. I've not really done financials before. Like I've not ever worked as an accountant before.
Okay,
But on my career path, I started working directly as in the bank. You know, when we are working, it's not on accounting software. It's on these payments, so all these payments, banking payment software. Then from there, I moved from the bank. I went into all these private sectors, working as an internal auditor, internal control. So when you were presenting the preparation of financial statements, pulling it into this and that, it was more or less cumbersome for me, because what I do is review. I don't do the preparation myself. So what I do is review. But at the point I felt like, okay, I should be able to do the preparation by myself, just in case I might want to switch into financials. Because it's like audit and internal control is more or less like a closure somehow. It's more, there's how it is for me. So, but it's difficult getting to understand everything that you are putting up there. I would just like, though I would know when people are making mistakes, when you've prepared a statement already, but how to do it myself to arrive at what I would expect is the problem.
okay, ma'am. Okay, thank you for that beautiful question, ma'am. So, for this, it's just the disparity between the roles. Like internal audit, that's why most people too, when they become auditors or when they are doing internal audit is different from accounting, way different, because internal control reviews everything we've done or the process to which we arrive at our figures. So what you can just do is, since you're working in a bank, I'm sure they will have financial reporting session, or sorry, financial reporting department. You can just volunteer, maybe your break time, go there and just put eye what they are doing, like see how they are preparing their financial reports. Just like you may just have a friend there, or closing time, you can tell somebody to put you through. Also, there are so many resources on YouTube for you to learn how to prepare financial statement. They will even take you from the scratch. There are a lot of resources out there. I'll share some people on YouTube that you can follow to learn how to prepare financial statements. So there are a lot of things. See, we are in the information age, so you should not say there's nothing you cannot learn, right? So if you don't have the opportunity to learn it at your bank, maybe in your financial reporting or the accounting department session, you should also try to learn it on your own. You can reach out to colleagues, reach out to people, but it's just best that if you are practicing and you're also doing the same thing you're practicing, so it will just help you. But one thing that it will just be like a sacrifice for you, that okay, I want to pivot into accounting, I really need to learn this thing. So you need to create time for learning. If it's 1 hour per day, 30 minutes per day, or you want to use your weekend to learn it.
Okay, sorry, let me ask this. Sorry, my last question, because this is the first time I'm really saying something. Okay, there are opportunities I normally have. Like recently, I was offered. I'm no more working in a bank. I've been in the private sector for like 5 years now. So recently, I was offered a role. Someone called me on referral, said I should come and pick a role of a CFO, a starting CFO. And I was scared, like, because I've not done remittances, I've not even prepared financial statement on my own. So how will I now go and be telling them that I don't know? Is it possible that someone that's not done that can just pick up a role and maybe fit into the role all of a sudden by getting help, sourcing help and all that? Is it possible?
Okay, so let me just answer this question. So before you get into a role, you should have built yourself up for it. Though we have, you just find yourself in a role, but to prevent you from just going there to embarrass yourself. So that's where the place of still professional development comes in. So you join groups where you can see accounting has a lot of things. So we have tax, we have audits, we have a lot of things. So you don't necessarily need to know everything, but you can be in a community of people that's why LinkedIn is there. There are people churning out content about audit, tax. So I'm learning tax every day. I'm learning audit, even if I don't know the practical aspect. But if I have the theoretical aspect, I can still be able to say a word or two. Then when I get to the role, I'm just make sure that your personal development is tight. Before you can become a CFO, I'll be taking your ICANN. So ICANN will help you in the theoretical aspect. Then YouTube, reaching out to senior friends, senior mentors for guidance. So there are just a lot of things. It's a good opportunity, but I would advise that before you take up such roles, because there will be a lot of expectation from you. They'll be expecting you know how to do tax remittance. So not necessarily must you even have all the requirements for the role before you jump into it. Once you have like 50%, you can go into it. Then for tax remittances, you can always ask people how to do it. Because as a CFO, I don't expect that it's still you that will be doing remittances, but be updated with current tax laws, like, okay, what is the withholding tax rate? How do we charge VAT input, VAT output? So basically all those things, like just be updated with it, read wide, read extensively, look for accounting communities, look for accounting blogs where you can read updated things. Like even if you don't, Chrome is there, Google is there, like just type it in, and we have Chat GPT now that can help you answer any question you want to answer. So there are a lot of resources online to really learn. But I would advise that at least if you meet 50% of the criteria of the role, you can move. But ensure that you are developing yourself. Check the JD. If it's something you can do, then you can ask them for, okay, give me the job description, job role, job responsibilities, so I can prepare myself. So once you see the job role, you see like there are 15 responsibilities there. Can you handle at least like 8? Then you can build up on the 8. So I think that's fine for me. So yeah. Okay, I'm saying, I don't know if they answered your question, ma. Then
Yes, you have. Thank you.
all right, thank you so much, ma. Mr. I don't know if it's a Mr. or Mrs. Oluwatobi Olatunji, you can take the floor.
Okay, good evening, Oyindamola.
Yes, good evening.
So my question is, I noticed you touched on the trial balance, but it was more like you just glimpsed through it. So, are you saying with this model you did today,
Yeah.
are you saying there won't be need for the trial balance to be done, or you can just go straight from the bank statement to the preparation of the financial statement?
So
Or
you know, I want to follow with your question. I'm still with you. Yeah. What I said is that all these things we are posting here in the bank analyzer is going to the trial balance automatically. The reason why I didn't touch more on it is because this is it, the model trial balance. Why is this thing going like this? You don't need to prepare it. The thing is already formatted. That's why I don't want to touch it. Like if you do anything, that's why it's hidden. I don't know what's going on with this, but I don't know what's going on with my system. But I think I unhid it that time. I don't know, it's not showing. Okay. So if you see now, everything is going. So this thing has been formularized. You can't tamper with it. So everything you are putting here is going there automatically. Like that's one beautiful thing about the model. Like it is already formularized. See, if you see, we have contract, direct cost, everything, they're already there. Like, see, so the trial balance is already there. It's because I'm not feeling all this. That's why they're not there yet. The trial balance is there already, so you don't need to stress yourself about preparing. So maybe, for instance, let's say all these figures are there. You can just pull this out and show it. But this trial balance is feeding into this. So if you can see it's coming from the model trial balance. It's automated, like there are formulas for it. So if you can see, it's already formularized, so you're not touching anything there. That's why I didn't say too much on the trial balance. So this is the trial balance. You're not touching anything there. Do you understand? So it's whatever you feel in here that will show in your trial balance. So whatever you've picked here. So whatever you've picked here over time is what you build into this place, and from this place is going to your financial position. It's not as if it's going from bank directly. Oh. It's coming here, then moving to financial position. If you can see, this thing is coming from model trial balance. It's coming from here. This one, so if you pick one, it's coming from model trial balance. If you see your cash flow, it's coming from PP schedule. Okay, so it's depreciation. But if you see, let's say this now, let me refresh my let me refresh all. So I think I've not picked issues that will affect cash flow yet. That's why it's not showing. So basically that's just it. It's not as if we didn't prepare trial balance. I just eat it to not tamper. Like any little thing you do, because it's already formulated, it will throw everything you've been working on off. That's why I didn't to hamper too much on it. So Mr. Agbolade has a question.
Okay, sorry. But if you had to start afresh now, if you have to start afresh with this model,
yes.
So what would you advise that should be done? Like from your bank statement?
Yeah, so the only thing you are doing, Mr. Toby, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see.
So you are clearing from year to year, clearing everything. You are not touching anything financial. This is only where you are feeding in your data. So you just delete it and put in whatever you want. So you put it according to date, number or reference, description. So if you see that my bank statement is already in that line. So if you see my bank statement, so I have my dates, I have my reference.
Yeah, I'm okay with
date, reference, So yeah.
So you just move it into the bank statement.
Yes, so this is what I did. Yes. So I just copied.
So when you move it there, will you also automatically fill in the trial balance too?
No. You are doing, that's why were you not at the beginning of the class? You have to put all these things in by yourself. This is where the major work starts from. Once you input it, yes.
Okay,
so
when you put all this, it goes into the trial balance.
Yeah, so when you start inputting expense, operating expense, it goes into the trial balance. So it's the trial balance that is feeding all these ones. Yes, thank you.
Okay. But you have to also ensure that the trial balance, right?
Yes, definitely. Yes.
Okay. Then my second question, please, is so in the case of if the company you are working with, if they have a software they are using already,
yes,
but you just have to now prepare the financial statement from the software. What will you advise?
What's the name of the software? Please, Mrs. Ike, can you close your turn off your video because of the recording? Mrs. Marianne, please turn off your video. Thank you. Mr. Olatunji, you said which software are they using that can prepare their
let's just assume I'm working with an assumption now. So like a company that is using a software already, not manual Excel, in preparing their stuff. And so you have to now prepare your financial statement through the software. What would you advise? Or is it that it's usually be done? It's also going to be done automatically. That you do not have to.
That's why you are paying for the software. Yes, it should be. It should be automatically. Yes, because so I use Sage. At the office, so I can pull out my trial balance. So if I want to work from my trial balance into my FS, that's a long journey. But I can also pull out my statement of financial position based on my postings. Then I can pull out my income statement. So it's just that there are some adjustments you have to do, maybe like some IFRS 16 adjustments, some other adjustments, so you can work on that one on Excel. But at least it should do the bulk of the work for you. Then it's just little adjustments you are doing in the long run.
So, but what would be the guide for the adjustment now?
It depends on you and what the company wants. Like, they have a previous management reports they were using. Basically, it's just the different companies have different format for their management reports. So it's what your MD wants. Is it showing on the management report? So you can pull out your income statement and you say you want something more detailed. So you need to do more analysis, more notes, more explanation, more detailed analysis. So basically. Okay, so I'll be taking the last three questions will be coming from Mr. Agbolade, Mr. Jeff, and Mr. Amos. Then we call today wrap. Thank you. So Mr. Agbolade, you can take the floor. Mr. Bolade Alaba. If he's not ready, we can have Mr. Jeff. Mr. Jeff, you can take the floor.
Okay, thank you. Can you please put on your screen? There's something I want to present to from yeah, from this category sub. Wait, let me turn my screen so I can see it. Sub capacity category and the statement where you put the expense. You put,
Yes.
Yes. I know you use this place now. How do you build this here? Just a little explanation. I know you use Python, but I've not used
That
yeah.
that's class.
Pardon?
I can't explain that one class. That's not that class. Basically.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. And also, in the course of this lecture, you made mention of you should not expect this particular
Model.
there. Why?
Yes, you have to pay for it because of how complex it is and we didn't get it for free, basically. So, because you can see that it's even what, yeah. But
Pardon?
what you are doing, just putting into like these three things. So, because if we use the other model we things earlier, that one with more time consuming. But this one very fast based on some formulation that has been done. So you notice that everything has its own formulas. As I said, you don't it's for parents. So tampering with anything here. Also, all this asset, salary, everything that goes in their balance. So that's why we this to ensure that we're not tampering with it. Because everything here is going automatically based on how the what's it called? Based on how excuse me, how the Excel sheet works. So the only thing we are tampering with from this is here. The rest, you're not touching anything. But yeah, you're just filling in like based on what is here in the job domain. How here the job domain. You have to build that. You have to ask that does not cover that.
So, if I may ask, at the end of this class, I want to write as lecture that you have given.
We've already sent earlier about if you want this, you have
for the sake and fact that we pay for this lecture, I hope we should be getting at a subsidized rate.
Definitely, sure. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. So, Amos, I'm taking that last question. Okay, please, can we 5:52 and this class should end by 6. So, Mr. Amos, you can take the floor. I was calling Mr. Agbolade earlier, but I don't know if he's not on this call. I don't know.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening,
very
sir.
much for the lecture you've been taking us ever since last week. I really appreciate it. Though ever since you started the lecture, I was kind of busy. You get me? So I want to ask, the PDF be converted
Yes.
from your company, right?
It's from my words.
And the PDF be converted.
Yes.
Is your own, right? It's your own PDF, right? You need to convert it to
Yes,
the
I
bank
can't
analyzer,
share that one. Yes. So you can always
That's
get
the
your
bank
bank.
analyzer.
No, you are confusing me now. The PDF I converted is a PDF of a bank statement, not the analyzer.
Okay.
The analyzer is what we are working on, the Excel file where we prepare our financial statement from. But I'm just converting. I just showed because people have been asking how to convert. So we just needed to show everybody how to convert from PDF to Excel. So you can work on it from Excel. It's different from the analyzer. Maybe you get the recording, you understand it better since you didn't join at the beginning.
Okay. Will the recording be video as well?
Yes, so we'll be uploading the recording on YouTube because people were complaining that they couldn't get access to it on Google Meet. So we'll upload it on YouTube and we'll upload it on YouTube so that you can download it. So because a lot of
Will you
people
send a
complain.
link for the YouTube, right?
We'll send it to everybody at the end of the class.
Okay. Also, my second question goes this way. Before you can attain the post of CFO, and is it possible for a CFO to just employed? Is it possible for the company to still put the CFO through when they get to the company?
No. So this class is not for that actually. We are just supposed, if not because I already answered this question for Miss Ifiok. So this class is not for that actually, but I'll just have to answer. As the CFO, you're coming in as a finance business partner. You're coming to solve problems. Your CEO cannot be putting you through what you should be doing. So that's what I was telling Miss Ifiok to earlier, that she should get all the skills she needs before she gets here. As a CFO, there's more responsibility on you. Nobody's training you as a CFO. You're coming to lead a team. You're coming to lead a department. You're coming to channel growth. You're coming to drive business operations. Nobody's there to put you through anything. You're here, you're coming to make business changes. So basically, I don't want to dwell too much on that because that's not what the class is all about. We are having a training very soon about that, so we'll communicate that later, not now. So I don't think I have more questions. I'm trying to see if I still have more questions, but okay.
Yeah.
And okay, I don't think I can take any more questions from you. So I don't know if Mr. Agbolade, is he still on this call? Mr. Agbolade, if he's not on the call, Mr. Amos will be our last question for tonight. Mr. Amos, are you still on call? I think I've taken your question. Yeah.
Yes.
Then
yes,
Mr. Kim,
my question.
yes. Mr. Kim will be our last question for today. Thank you. Mr. Kim, are you still on the call? Because we need this class to wrap up by 6. Thank you.
Okay, I don't want you to call me in. Okay, my question is that thank God that accountants are on this platform. Why is it that accountants, they are not ready to teach or to put their junior ones, to explain to their junior ones? What I'm trying to say is that they see a very young accountant coming up, writing exams, but they are not ready to put him through. I don't know why. I don't know who I've experienced this in this feed. So for me, I've experienced it, but I just thank God for this kind of platform. Thank you, Oyinda Mola, once again for sharing your wisdom with us, for what you have. But like in some other parts, in some organization, I have met with a lot of accountants. They are not ready to share. I don't know whether you want to collect their job from them. I don't know. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kilmi. I think that's a good question to wrap up with. So that's why before we even move to a place, we should also always pray that it should be a good learning ground for us, where our bosses can be free to tell us anything. So I don't know, when people hoard knowledge, do you want to die in the company? Like basically, do you want to die there? So when you don't even teach people, who will take up your role? I think most people are always scared that if I teach this person everything I know, will the person take up my role? Like at this point where I am in my career, like I've taught people a lot that I even feel like, what am I still doing in the company? You get, like, people are already knowing the things they can do, but that actually come because at a point your MDs, if you don't take up higher roles, that you've left that role. So the thing is, they don't want to challenge themselves to take higher roles, because when you've taught people everything you know, they can replicate all the things you've done and even do it better than you. So it's better that you are taking up higher roles and giving the roles you are on to other people. But I think it's just when people don't really believe in themselves, they don't want people to, they feel threatened by your potentials, basically. So when you're in that kind of environment, what you can do is to ensure that you are taking classes like this, you are connecting with people, asking questions, and one thing at them, they already understand the procedures of the company better than you that just came. So it's even then they are the best. True. So when you have that kind of issue, It's just that you can just pick it up with HR that you're not learning here. Like that's why HR they are there. You can tell HR that you're not learning. That can they organize trainings and these things for us, so that they'll know that when you're not doing your job, there's a reason why you're not doing your job, because nobody's putting you through, and so that you're not sacked because you're not doing your job because nobody put you through. So thank you.
Well, thank you very much. I don't know why too they do all these things. I don't just know. In fact, they will even turn to an enemy, to a young accountant. They are not just encouraging. They are not just, I don't know. Please,
Okay, so
thank
you
you,
just
Idamola.
Can I just add to what Madam
yes,
Linda just
please.
said?
Yeah.
See, you don't need to wait for complaints and other people to put you through on everything that's pertaining to accounting. Let us be very serious with ourselves. You know, you yourself, you need to develop yourself. You coming to this particular training, you know what it takes, the resources, the time, the payment that you made. You see some people, they'll think 1,000 naira is too much for them to come online to pay to get more experience. There are some courses I myself I paid 50,000 for some courses that I know what I want to gain. See, if you are not doing your job very well, forget, your company will just tell you, sorry, we can't cope with you. Before a company can spend money on you to give you a training, they need to see an impact from you. Sure, you get. But now, when you see some courses online, some free courses online and some paid courses online, please grab it. When you grab it after the training, please don't wait for another training to come. Practice it. It. Don't just put it on table. That okay, that's the end. Okay, now, like last week Saturday that we had this training, how many of you did you go and make use of what you have? Did you make use of what? Did you make use of your bank or your personal bank statement to practice what you pay for? And you are still expecting people to teach you. How do you want to grow?
Okay, can I say something there? Hello, can I say something there? Okay, I will say that as Oyindamola was teaching us last week, I converted our office bank statement and I was doing it the way she was explaining for us. I mean to us. You know, I learned a lot in that last week, and in this week I also learned a lot. But according to what you are saying, I get what you are saying. You know, when you meet an accountant, a young accountant is coming to an industry, you meet an accountant and you study an accountant, there is a Z, you study accounting, there's a Z that I met someone that has been in the industry. You know, the motivations, they will not bring the one to bring you down. They will be holding that talent. I don't understand. Accountant, may God just help us.
Dami, please, can I say something?
Okay.
See, sorry, sir. Sorry. You see, there's a lot of challenges now. Don't let us be. See, there's a lot of challenges. I could remember, I think yesterday was the deadline for pay. I could able to solve 4 people. I was still working. I was able to solve 4 people because they don't know how to generate their bill of reference, and some people just join. They don't know the way. I have to put on my code to them. Oh yeah, share me your screen. Let us do it this way. And at the long run, they were just happy. Till now, they are still sending me a message. Thank you, sir. See, you know what? When you notice that you are not learning from this person, just don't charge the person again. Look for another person entirely. You have thousands of people that will help you. You have thousands of accountants that will help you. Just look for one person that will mentor you. And see, let me tell you something. Don't be the kind of person you be always ask too much of questions to. You always be a valuable person too. Don't let them be the only one that will be having an impact to you. What are the resources that you yourself can share with them that they can benefit from you?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you get it. Okay, let's say for instance, okay, I'm with you.
I understand.
Sorry, please. Let's just cut the conversation. We'll continue the conversation online. Thank you. Please, we need to wrap up the class, and so people have other questions. Thank you so much, Mr. Yomi. You can, Akiwumi Johnson, can meet Mr. Yomi on the call later. You guys can discuss that. That's not the purpose for this class. Let's not. So Zaki
Okay,
Becca,
okay.
my last question. I've already said it's supposed to be Mr. Kiwomi Johnson, but after this question, I'm not taking any other question because it's already 6 o'clock and we should have ended this class. Please, thank you. So Zaki Becca, our last question for today.
Thank you very much, Dami. Good evening,
Good
everyone.
evening.
So I heard something when you said something about payee. I wasn't even
I
aware of
wasn't even
that.
around.
Hello? I wasn't
Yes,
aware of that
I
payee.
hear you.
Thing. That's one of it. Then I think I've communicated about that Sage 50 platform. Why you were going taking the training when you made mention of it on Sage? I think I've communicated to you personally, but I didn't want to interrupt your class as well. So maybe much later, like you said, when you send the video, I'll just go through it all over again. And because I joined in late and asked my question, is that okay?
No problem.
Then I heard when Aki said something about your senior colleague. I don't know if it's okay for me to just drop this.
Okay, okay.
One thing you need to be sure of is that most time people will not give you the knowledge you are looking for. Sometimes you have to make an extra effort or go out there. Most of the time you have consultants as auditors coming into them, and probably you might be the only one in your office as an accountant, or maybe you have people that support you. But one thing is sure is that they would teach you according to the way they want to teach you, not because they want you to benefit at the end of the day. Probably they might have that intention of you benefiting, but if they teach you everything, it's more like you taking their job.
Job,
I don't
yeah.
get. But you going out there, this platform, you paid for it, your personal money. You don't have to wait for the human resource of your company to sort you out. You're developing yourself. One day you might not be in that company. One day you might be in somewhere that person might need that. So I feel like self-development, your own personal time taken to do something on your own. You learn better when you're doing something on your own and you actually pay for certain things, certain knowledge. So that's all I have to say, Dan. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for coming. It has been a great one. Thank you
And
all for.
Sorry, I won't be able to respond back to her now.
Akil, you can have that later, please. Thank you. So thank you all for
Okay.
coming. We really appreciate you. We'll be communicating on the group. Then for future trainings too, we have one training coming up. So it is titled "How to Start Your Accounting Career." Then we have another one on the same. That's transitioning from accounting to finance. So all these your questions that you're asking, don't worry, bring them. We're ready to answer it on that day. It's a free webinar, so you're not paying for that. We communicate it over time. So that's why I don't want this class to be longer than it is, because we're uploading it on YouTube so that there are no unnecessary things that are not related to the class on it. So thank you all for coming. Really appreciate you. God bless you. And we look forward to more partnership. If you have partnership deals for us, we are open. We're always on the group. Anything you want, ask your questions on the group. Please don't DM any of the admin individually. Just ask your question on the group, and anybody that can answer, we answer. So thank you so much for the first section. Thank you for being available for the last session. God bless you all, and we'll continue later. Bye. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, Dami. See you. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you, Dami.
Bye.
Damola, thank you very much. I really appreciate you. Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you, sir.